To an interesting episode of 20 Sides of Failure. I am your host for this evening, and joining me around the dinner table, we have a smattering of guests. Starting in the top left corner, we have our paladin.
All right, that would be me. um,
Usually.
hello. My name is Nurin Nightingale. I will be playing Aurora Rose, the Osmer Paladin.
We might as well go down the row to then our human cleric.
Hi everybody, I'm English Ray and I play the human cleric, Queenie.
And then last but not least, we have our druid.
Hello everybody, it is your friendly neighborhood Ness here, and I play the Furbolg druid, Sondra Elwood, who is very nervous about making a grand appearance at this fancy dinner.
And then for the other adventurers, both Jack and Saya are away on other business. And hopefully they won't mind that we puppet them like a weekend at Bernie's. But to give us a recap and to bring everyone up to speed, last episode, the party had quite a few hours to kill before they had a reservation for dinner at the Watcherhaus. It was split in multiple different ways, having baths and becoming presentable, going to the toy shop, and then later on in the evening, going to the burgomaster's mansion. The entire house was filled with people making preparations for the festival that will be happening tomorrow. And it's there that Saya, Jack, and Azazel went in disguised as a connoisseur of fine art and antiquity, wanting to speak to Strahd, the only name that they'd been given when asked questions about the doll of Irina. Saya, with her newfound abilities, was able to walk through locked doors and find many unnerving things, up to, but also including, a man chained to the wall in a cupboard, and a bedroom full of dolls, all of them looking like Irina. Saya made her escape by throwing herself out of the top story window and hobbled away back to the inn, which is where we're going to be picking up with the rest of you. You never went with them to the burgomaster's mansion. You have no idea what's happened. So when Saya comes rushing through the door on what looks like a bit of a twisted ankle, and Azazel and Jack following close behind, it's definitely a sight to see.
Definitely kind of like, if anything, Sondra would be like mother henning, just like, tell me what happened, are you hurt, do you need help?
And we'll say, for the sake of metagaming but also consistency, that they tell you everything that happened. So they tell you about meeting the burgomaster's wife, about how she truly believes that Strahd is doing a good job protecting everyone in the town, how they went exploring, apparently. They went exploring upstairs, finding multiple locked rooms. At that point, Saya presents the doll that she'd stolen and the wine bottle that she found. And not all of you, Sonda and Queenie, you wouldn't have met Irina. So the doll doesn't have that much of an effect on you, but Aurora, oh, it's the spitting image. It's actually disgusting.
Ugh. Shudder, creepy, heebie-jeebies. I don't like the look of it.
You should have seen the whole room. It was so much worse.
I'm glad I did not.
But then Jack would tell everyone that the burgomaster had actually invited that small group to be a part of the festival tomorrow, specifically so that they could talk to Strasny if needs be. But the burgomaster did also say that if you wanted to come back later in the evening, when Strasny had finished his evening rounds, you were welcome to do so.
Well, I guess this is what a dinner party is for then. Can see how much we can learn from tonight.
Mm.
She's kind of starting to like side eye the doll, like edge away from it a little bit.
Sonder is definitely more of the mind of like, if he finds out that you guys did this, we're all fucked. So we need to hide it. We need to hide that and hide the evidence. Come up with a contingency plan.
Completely agree. How much of a resemblance does this doll have to your friend?
It's a spitting image of her. There's not a detail that's left to chance.
That's creepy. And Saya, you said there was a whole room full of them?
Yeah, and she would go into detail about how you could almost like track the increasing skill level as more dolls had been made. Like they started off as kind of like Raggedy Ann, completely made out of cloth, and then moved to wood, and then moved to porcelain. And I think Mythical very specifically said that she grabbed one of the porcelain ones.
Oh, so she grabbed like a newer one.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Is there any way we could put it back? Because if what you're describing is that they started out pretty shitty, and now they're like pretty good, I think he might notice that it's gone.
I would say Aurora, because you were one of the few that saw the Blinsky doll before it was given to Strasny. It's not as good, but it is comparable. Like, this is probably one that he got maybe a couple of months ago.
Okay. It's not quite as good as the one I saw before, but definitely a newer one. I'd agree about seeing if we can get it back. If not, maybe leaving it with the girl herself, since nobody should know where she is but us. We're trusting Azazel to hide it somewhere.
Sonder would kind of like tilt his head a little bit and be like, does your friend know about the doll being like a replica of her?
I believe so. I believe it was Azazel who told her.
So I don't think just hiding it in one of our rooms would be the best course of action, because they're not exactly safe. And keeping them on one of us would be even more incriminating if we had our stuff searched. It might be a little insensitive, I guess might be the best word to describe it, But I personally don't see any options. We have no bag of holding or any place really to call our own to hide it in.
Oh, out of character had a brilliant idea, but I don't know if it's a plausible idea
Go for it.
because I would have had to have conferred with Dusky because is there a way we could have hidden it in King? Like, does King has like a secret storage compartment?
That is something that you're going to need to talk to Dusky about, because only
Yeah,
he knows what King's composition is.
yeah,
So we will table it for now, with the idea being that we will talk about that later.
yeah. Because it's just like, decent idea. Is it plausible? Because part of me would be like, yeah, Jack and Queenie probably would have done that. Because shenanigans happen. But also not being able to say, like, for definite if they would have thought of doing it.
Well, because Dusky isn't here to confirm or deny, we'll say no for now, with the idea being that we can always retcon it later.
Okay. I guess in that case... Do any of us know if we have a loose floorboard? Nobody really checks the floorboards.
Well, also, this isn't our establishment, and hiding the evidence in Danica and Irwin's place of residence could also put them in danger and incriminate them instead. And they've been nothing but kind to us.
Well, then what do we want to do? Drop it back in the toy shop? Like, is that a plausible idea?
I think it would be very on character for Saya to pipe up and say, oh, I could always sneak back in and put it back.
I think that might be the safest thing to do in terms of, like, putting it back where it is. But also one of the unsafest things, because it requires you going back in.
The only
you
person
have
that
just-
saw me the first time was his wife.
And a guy chained up. Which is also very freaky.
That
Yeah.
sounds awful.
That was off-putting.
That's
However, considering the fact that he's chained up, and as you said, like, beaten pretty badly, I highly doubt anybody is going to believe him when he says he saw a girl walk through a wall.
considering some of the other things we've seen in this place, I wonder how just his punishment even is.
Whether he did something or not, nobody deserves to be treated like that.
I agree.
Depends on the crime. Don't
I
look at me like that. You know it's true. It depends on the crime.
I mean, if he did something truly awful, then being incarcerated, yes, but being beaten and chained till he's bleeding, I can't say, obviously, because I don't know what he's done to deserve it, but it seems like overkill to me.
Especially as I believe Saya mentioned that it was a secret place, not something like a public dungeon. Well, an open dungeon, at least.
That makes it all the more suspicious.
Right, well, we're already on quite a few people's radars. I don't think what we want to be doing is potentially breaking somebody out of a prison, because that would put even more targets on our back, especially when your guys' main priority is getting your friend to a safer place. We don't really want people tailing us while we're doing that.
If we can. And we might not be able to. But if we can, we should come back for him, if that's possible.
I would agree. I think Saya would be our best bet to try to get him out for now, at least. In our immediate pool of resources, at least.
But also, just turns to Saya, like, if I remember correctly, you dropped Azazel you dropped Azazel when you tried to go through the wall. So I don't think you can carry people.
Not that I am aware of.
She wouldn't need to carry him, but she would be able to get in and unchain him at least without causing as much of a ruckus.
I will
the
need a
same way-
key, though.
That, I'm afraid, I have no ideas on, besides seeing where one might be. Out of character, just looking at Azazel.
Sorry, drinking on a bit of food.
Don't die.
I'll try. So I can kind of do a cool thing where if we're able to get some keys, I can create a duplicate of them. But it does take a little bit of time, and I do need the materials. And I will need the original to create a copy of it.
Interesting.
Takes an hour.
Well, I would assume so, because you have to heat the metal and you have to bang, bang, bang on the anvil.
Oh no,
and make it.
It's a cleric thing.
You just see his ears kind of go down, like, oh, I knew that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't actually think it never really crossed my mind in the Feywild to tell you about it. But yeah, basically, hour-long ritual. I can craft a magical item that must include some kind of metal. At the end of the hour, I can create it, but it can't cost anything more than 100 gold pieces, and I have to lay out the metal, which can include coins, which is helpful, with a value equal to the thing that I'm copying. And it is... And I can create like a duplicate of it, as long as I have the original.
Interesting.
So, for example, if we find like a skeleton key that could unlock anything, give me that bad boy for an hour and I'll create a copy.
That is honestly extremely useful.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a few people at home asking me if I could do that for them.
Is it just keys?
No, anything metal, so it could be like a weapon, a suit of armor, ammunition, tools. So if, as you're saying, like Azazel has lockpicks, I can make a copy.
Interesting.
Anything that's made of essentially metal, I can copy it.
Because honestly, if it wasn't just metal, I would say make a copy of the doll. Put the original back, so we still have the evidence that Saya originally wanted. Because I believe that was her main motivation. Just kind of like looks to her for confirmation. Like, she just wanted evidence, right?
In that case,
I
then,
have
I'm gonna
no idea
I'm gonna
why
put
Ali took this doll.
I'm gonna put the info into the chat because it says, because I don't know how expensive the dolls are, but also just to get your rolling to see like if it has to be completely made out of metal or if it just had to have some kind of metal component to it. Because if it's a porcelain doll, it could have metal on it. So oh, it does. The metal retrievably coalesces and transforms into creation at the ritual's end, magically forming even non-metal parts of the creation. So if there is any metal on it, I could copy it, and it looks exactly the same.
Fair. Always an interesting debate. Because technically, with it being a porcelain doll, it would at the very least have an armature.
That's what I was thinking.
A metal skeleton.
Has a what now?
Metal skeleton.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Because that's how they are able to pose, is because of the metal on the inside of them.
I don't know anything about doll construction. That is my bad.
You're all good.
It's also used in things like claymation. They'll usually have like a metal skeleton that they gives it at least a little bit of rigidity.
I knew they did it in like, oh, we can't name names, can we? Because copyrights and crap.
I mean, we can talk about companies as long as we don't like steal their IP.
Like my favorite Halloween movie that uses stop motion animation, I know there's metal framework in those characters.
Yeah, basically every
yeah,
stop motion
totally.
animation movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know they had metal frames. I didn't realize porcelain dolls did.
Because you need to be able to pose the arms.
Depends.
But it does depend, yeah.
Because sometimes it's all just like cloth and stuffing until the arms, the legs, and the head are the porcelain, and then sometimes they have an armature, and more like modern ones are like plastic. They're the I forget what they're called, but it's the armatures that you can build for at-home doll making that you need like a tool to connect the pieces all together and stuff. A lot of people use them to make art dolls.
Okay, you know, dang, you're making me start to miss the two porcelain dolls I had when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Joey.
But yeah, technically, you don't know how much the doll is worth. But you could potentially make another one.
You know, just if we wanted a copy. Or you know, anything happens to this one because it is porcelain and therefore easily breakable.
I mean, we do have time to figure out what to do with it. So, if you want to try to make a copy of it, that might be the best course of action. The wine bottle we will just have to hide.
How many wine bottles were in the room?
He had quite a few under his bed.
Oh, then maybe you won't miss this one.
But if it is a particular brand that might be out of our reach. It might be a bit too expensive. It would still be incriminating as well. So it might be a best idea to also hide that one. Just in case.
Have we seen this bottle in this establishment?
You have, yeah. It's one of the 2 wines that they sell.
Okay.
Never mind. We'll just say that we bought it.
Yep. And never mind. I don't know that information.
But yeah, probably trying to make a copy of the doll and then putting the original back would be our best guess. But how much time do we have before the dinner again? I forget if it's still midday or if it's getting close.
Oh no, it's definitely getting closer. You had about 2 hours, and that was before they set off to do their heist. So I'll say that it's been, I think, half an hour, 45 minutes since then. So you've now got just about an hour.
Then that would be, like, Saya's prerogative if she thinks she can put it back, but it might be best to just wait.
Well, how long does it take us to get from here to the person's house that we're dining at?
You don't personally know, because you've not been there before. And you don't know where it is, like, where it's laid out. But technically, Azazel's been there, and technically Aurora has been there.
Okay. How long does it take?
Aurora, if you're here and listening, 10-15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Not that long. It's 10 minutes, perhaps. Maybe half, a little over that. But not that long.
We do want to arrive in a timely manner. We're supposed to be there at like 7? Was it 7?
That's what I thought.
I believe so, and I would prefer not to be fashionably late. It's bad manners.
So we probably want to leave here at about 6:30?
That might be the best. Give us a little bit of extra time just in case.
Since the burgomaster's mansion is on the way, I can always put the doll back before we go.
As long as you're decently certain that you can get out in one piece.
I highly doubt that he will have come back from his evening rounds yet. And the people that matter, like the burgomaster, he never saw my face.
Then that might be the best course of action.
Okay, we better go do that now.
So are we going to make a copy of it and put it back, or are we just going to put it back?
If you're
Takes me an hour to make the copy.
I was gonna say,
I forgot it was an hour. Never mind.
you have the hour to do, but then anything after that, depending on how long you take, is going to make you late for dinner.
We'll be fashionably late, which would make Azazel happy.
But I don't think we can make our host happy.
So it's up to you guys. You can talk about this now, and it won't take any time. It's what you want to do. If if you want to join in on
Hey,
this conversation,
sir.
Azazel, you are there.
You broke up for me. I did not hear. Could you repeat?
If you want to join in on this conversation, you are there.
Hi, I zoned out for a minute. What are we talking about?
The doll.
The
Whether
doll.
we just get Sia to put it back, or if I make a copy. But if I make a copy, it takes an
Oh,
hour.
you have it still?
Saya's just there like, doll.
Oh my gosh.
Because without rewatching the end of last episode, I don't know if she put it back or not. So I'm saying she didn't.
No, she took it.
Yeah,
Yeah, she took it.
Yep.
She specifically said she needed to take it in the bottle, quote unquote, for evidence. Because that's. Sure.
Right.
So yeah, she's now showing you this porcelain doll for evidence.
Okay. How much time do we have until the party?
An hour.
Alright, I say we have two choices.
Hour 15 if you're going for like accuracy, but like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Always accuracy, thank you. I feel like we have two options. Option A, we ditch the party entirely. We get her out of here. And they kind of like point to the doll of like, you know who I'm talking about. Can I actually do a 360 to see if that dude is watching us? He's always watching us. I can't remember his name, nor did I care to.
I don't know if you ever asked him for his name.
I don't believe I did.
You just called him an asshole.
Yeah. Can I see if the asshole's around?
Sure, make a perception check.
I almost clicked on persuasion. Dude. 9.
As far as you can tell, you can't see him.
Okay.
Also, in the last session, didn't he go to the house and not come out
Yeah,
when
but I
you were
also left.
scouting it out?
I left,
That is
so there's
fair.
time. So we can A, leave now, and which is probably the safer option, as I've been trying to do for, the last couple of days. But, anywho, we could do that. Or B, we go to the party. Yep, that's the extent of that. And then we leave.
We'll possibly get more information by going to the party.
It would also keep whatever good graces we do have here
We're-
intact.
We're about to
Because-
not.
Well,
because
if we just up and leave, then it will be fine, but this is the... I forget what the actual name is. Just turns to Queenie like, is this the lady? Like, her title is lady, right? Just like, I'm getting this right? She's the lady of Valaki?
Off the top of my head, I'm saying, give me a second to go back. The Lady Watcher. So yes, her title is a lady. She is the Lady Watcher.
Okay, so if this is the lady, and she's very powerful, on her good side, and just play into it for now. And once the party's over, then we skedaddle, and we never come back here ever again.
Not that she likely needs much, but more the better.
A heads up is still a good thing to do.
Agreed.
I am
Sorry.
worried. The burgomaster does know Jack and Azazel's faces. So if Strasny does figure out that something is missing, it could be pointed to them as being suspect.
Yeah.
I unfortunately don't have enough spell slots to cast Disguise Self, but I will have it up tomorrow.
So I'm sorry, I ate a lot of dirt today.
I
Excuse
ate
me.
a lot of dirt.
Yeah, I can explain later. So it sounds like we aren't leaving. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Of course not. Why would we do what's practical? All right then. So I don't know where my brain's going with this.
I think the most logical thing to do is to set off towards the Lady Watcher's house.
None
Let
of this is
Saya
sensible.
put the doll back. We enjoy a pleasant evening.
Well, you
So
want
we
her
don't
to
piss
go
off
back
anybody.
in?
It was Saya's idea.
We can then put the doll back.
And Saya said no one saw her, so it'd be safe for her to do it on her own.
I don't like people going back in there, to be honest with you.
Nobody's all too thrilled about it, but the doll needs to go back.
Does it though?
If we keep it on us, it would be incriminating evidence.
Hold on, question. Say, you said no one saw you, but did you hear? Or did anyone follow you? Did anybody go in? Like, did someone enter the room that you knew when you left?
They couldn't because the door was locked.
But somebody was attempting.
Someone knocked on the door to see if anyone was in there and then left when they didn't get a response.
See, I don't like that because I tell you right now, dumb face, I can't remember his name, is going to be back there tonight. So unless somebody snoops in his room, because right now is honestly for the way you described that room to me, which I'm assuming you did, even though I zoned out. It sounds like this dude's really OCD and probably does count all of them. So if he's already there, it's too late. If not, we need to do that beforehand, which even at that point, unless you put him exactly the same way as you found it, which, no offense, you're probably not going to be able to remember how to do, because I wouldn't be able to do that. Unless you're somebody else who's also OCD. You're going to know someone was in there.
How do we know that they don't have a cleaner? And also, how do we know that they're either die? Because didn't they say that he would be going back when he finished his shift, which would be when sundown, and as I can see, the sun is not down.
Yes. Let me ask you this. Do you have... What's a dirty little secret you keep in your room?
What?
What's a dirty little secret you keep in your room?
I don't have a dirty little secret I keep in my room.
Everybody does. So you're lying to me. Let me tell you this. Say your dirty little secret was you really find this one girl like just royally hot, or guy. I don't know what you're into. But imagine like you're so into them that you're obsessed that you make dozens of commissions for a doll that who knows what has touched that, which I honestly would be wearing gloves right now if I were you. Would you then allow some random slave girl, boy, whatever, dog, into that area to clean? When you are the head...
Maybe he has no shame, and maybe he can pay them off.
Okay, you have to admit that's a really long stretch.
Yeah, I know it's a
like
long stretch. Pretty much.
Also, I'm a little bit on the side of Azazel with this one. If there was a cleaner, there wouldn't be a massive pile of bottles under his bed.
See? Details!
Such a collection would hardly warrant unfriendly eyes towards it.
But
I
in
think
that case, then, because there are so many bottles, can we not assume that because of all the amount that he drinks and having that many bottles in his room, that he may not 100% check if they're all in the exact right place, how he exactly left them?
How many
Because in
bottles
a
do you have
drunk,
under his bed? Say
He had quite a few, so like 5 to 6.
that's nothing. Especially if it's a weekend. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say I'm right, but I'm right, and you have a right to your opinion, even if it's a wrong one.
if Saya thinks that she can put the doll back, I think that would be the best. But
at the
if
end of,
not, we need to hide it and just skip town as soon as possible.
what would you prefer that we do? Not put the doll back and definitely he knows somebody was snooping around his room, or put the doll back and just hope that maybe, he doesn't really read too much into it. Both for stretching! But which one sounds better than the other?
I'm not sending someone back who's already died once into a very high likelihood of dying. When it's very easy to just plant the doll with somebody else. And lo and behold, where are we going to be tonight? A party. And what do people do at parties? They steal things. Except for this party, we're going to give somebody something.
I mean, my idea was to just actually, like, drop it back on one of the shelves in the toy shop.
I say we give it to somebody else.
Again, I still found that quite wanting.
I would argue with the toy shop that Blinsky would not deserve the framing.
He makes the creepy dolls for the creepy man. And
But
makes
also,
terrifying toys for the tiny children.
but also, he didn't have one beforehand. So just having one quote-unquote magically appear would seem very suspicious, would it not?
You're losing this battle, Queenie. Sorry to say.
Okay, well then where do you want to put the fucking doll?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
No, because you talk a lot of shit!
That doesn't mean you don't understand the words coming out of my mouth. Anywho, I literally said we drop it off at the party.
But again, you were seen at that place, and then you're going to be seen at this party.
And?
You don't think people are going to connect the dots?
No. I acted like a buffoon. You really think I knew anything of... They think they would think anything of me.
Say that again. One more time.
No, I was choking on dirt. Sorry. Sorry. I was trying to say I acted like a buffoon. Do you really think do you really believe that they think I could have done anything there other than wandered and snooped?
But it wasn't just you that was seen in that house.
Oh yes, I had him, my bitch servant, which honestly you played a wonderful role, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Alright, standing here isn't going to do anything to help us. So, let's not make this a democracy, and we're just going to go with my idea. Does that sound great? Awesome.
I don't like it, but...
What would you like then? Would you like a slice of pie?
That would be lovely right now. But that's for later. I think I don't like to say it because it doesn't sit right pinning something on somebody else.
Life ain't fair.
But if it's the best course of action for everybody involved, keeps everybody as safe as we possibly can,
Then that we shouldn't be doing this. Then we should just leave. If that's what you're wanting, we should just leave.
I just think it's gonna be bad if we piss off this Watcher lady.
Actually, I have a better idea. Everyone. Did you hear that? A better idea. Beautiful.
Yeah, but we're not
We're gonna do
hearing the
everything-
idea.
We're going to do everything that Queenie wants to do, so when it all goes to shit, we can blame her. Love it, done. Alright, Queenie, what are we doing?
No, you don't get to put this shit on me. We're a team.
I just said, you just said you want to do what you do because you think it's safer. I think that's a splendid idea. Let's do it.
You just said this wasn't a democracy.
It's not. That's what I'm
I
saying.
would
You get to
prefer
make
it
the
to
decision.
be a democracy.
My vote's for anything that Queenie says. I say we do her idea.
This gets a small chuckle from Aurora.
That's not helping.
All in favor for Queenie's idea? I put my hand up. Just me? Really? I don't believe that. You're all being modest.
Do you know what? At the end of the day, I'm just gonna hold my hands up and say, I have nothing to do with the doll. You guys sort the doll out. I don't care. I just don't want to piss off somebody in power.
Exactly.
They
So we're gonna
could be a useful ally.
happening.
then how about nail in the coffin? We just original plan that Azazel had. We just
That's a
planted on
horrible
somebody
idea.
else
What
and
Queenie
leave.
was saying makes so much more sense. Well, sneak Saya back in. She was never seen. She won't get seen this time either. She'll put the doll back exactly how they left it, and then they won't be wiser if they are. Or like a lady came in, and some random servant will be put to death because of it. That's
I
perfect.
feel like you're being slightly sardonic.
No, I think Queenie's idea is great. I retract my previous idea, and I say we go with that.
I just kind of look over at everybody with a very defeated, like, help.
You just see the look on Queenie's face, and you know it's a face of just, can I just hit him? Can I please just slap him? And you know this face so much because you saw this face after the whole plant ordeal in the Feywild.
Yeah.
So we're good on. Say you're sneaking back in. You're putting it back into place safely and unseen.
That wasn't my idea.
What was your idea?
I didn't have an idea. That was Saya's idea.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll go with Sarah's idea. You backed it up. That's 2 versus 1. Already numbers looking better than mine. We're doing that.
You have 2 brain cells, don't you? And both of them are fighting for 3rd place.
If that's what you want to call winning, absolutely.
Saya, you're the one who would have to do this. Are you comfortable with this?
I think I can do it. But I also am aware that there's more at stake than just me putting a doll back. So I'm happy to do whatever the party wants to do.
Why did you take the doll? Why did you let her take the doll?
Wait, hold on. Are you asking me that?
Yeah.
Oh, so now you think I control other people? She's her own woman. I will never make someone do something against their will. They made this decision. How dare you to question them in the moment? That is Monday morning. Why do I make this prevalent? That's
Well,
Monday
was
morning.
Wednesday, and you wanted to be a dick. Tater. A
Did you
dickish
just call me
dictator.
Dick Teeter?
Yes.
What's a dictator? Wait, don't answer that. I don't want to know what you're into yet. That's later. That's a Friday night thing. Alright, look, staying around here talking is not helping anything. So, say it! What was your idea? Queenie, you agree with them? I back both of you full-heartedly. Let's do this.
I, for one, don't think this is a good idea.
Okay.
What? Why?
If Saya gets caught, just because she didn't get caught last time, doesn't mean that she won't get caught this time. I'm just worried. I don't want anybody getting hurt unnecessarily. I don't want to rub salt into a wound. But putting yourselves in danger willy-nilly is not the best of ideas right now. If we can dispose of the doll, hell, we can even go into a back alley, make a fire, dispose of it that way. Any way to dispose of the evidence to clear us out of it, or like you said, as much as I hate it, put it on somebody else. It sucks, but we need to protect ours and our own. It means nobody gets left behind.
Do we know if this Strasny has any enemies
Yes, us.
other than us?
I just met the man. In fact, actually, I've never even met the man.
He's the town guard, so assumably maybe people who have a thieves guild? Something like that? But that wouldn't be just out in the open.
I mean, I can find a thieves guild probably.
Aurora, do you have any ideas?
Please, please, I'm begging you, say yes. Please.
I would say that trying to plant it on someone else seems to be one of the better choices. Trying to sneak Saya back in comes with too many risks for her being caught. And simply destroying it, that seems like that would have its own issues as well, especially if we're seen to be the ones destroying it. So, planting it on someone, as Azazel had suggested, seems to be what I would choose.
I don't like how everyone's agreeing with me now. I retract that statement. It is no longer on the table. It must be someone else's idea.
Then it's my idea.
I love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't been talking about this in the open in the pub, have we? We have been talking about this in someplace private, right?
No. No one specified otherwise, so you have been in the tap room this entire time.
Guys,
How many
I'm the one who
people
walked
in the-
into this conversation. How did you not do that? I thought that's where we were.
How
Yeah,
many
there's-
people are in the tap room right now?
Not many. Looking around, you see that there are 2 hunters set off to the side. They seem to be resting with a pint. I can tell you... Rictavio is there. Although he hasn't been necessarily listening to your conversation, he's probably on the other side of the tap room. The 2 boys of Danica and Erwin have been running around periodically. But yeah, you are not the only ones here.
Right, kids make a lot of noise. Are they making a lot of noise while running around to cover us?
Not necessarily.
I want to say we have been speak talking in hushed tones. We have been whispering.
Other than when you've been yelling at each other.
Mm-hmm.
That was still loud whispers.
Cool. So what's the plan?
Well, you don't seem to like it that I was agreeing with you and your idea, so...
It was more the fact I like pitting something on Queenie. I really rather enjoy that idea.
No, you don't get to pin anything on me.
I do, and I have, and I did.
You haven't, you won't, and you never will.
Weak. Alright, so are we doing my idea? I mean, not my idea. I mean, Saunders' idea?
Destroying it. Or planting it.
Yes.
Whichever one is easier for everybody involved. Has the least amount of fallback on us.
You know, I'm going to take a leap out of his book. And I am purposely aiming that statement at Azazel. I wash my hands with this business. I had nothing to do with this. I don't want to be involved with it. All I want to do is not piss off a lady and just have dinner.
Well, you're part of the group. You are in on this, and you are held liable for this, just as much
Nope.
as the rest of us. Alright, then you can leave. Bye, farewell, be the same.
How long should I say that you lot are going to be?
Don't care, you're not part of the group, you don't get to know. You don't get to come back either, you can't just be a part of the group. It's not like, oh, I'm part of the family. I'm not a part of the family.
No, I'm just
Can't
not
do it
part
when
of
it
this
suits you.
decision because no, they didn't take into consideration the repercussions for the rest of us. They had no involvement in this.
You're boring.
Thank you. But I'm not accepting criticism today.
Okay. Well, I think we should all just get some air. Prepare for the worst. Prepare for being, fancy people going to a fancy dinner. And figure out where this thing is going to go. And who we're going to give it to.
Well, we could give it to the party, we can give it to some random person, we could leave it on the street, even.
As long as it is the least amount of fallback on us, I don't really care what happens to it. We are leaving tomorrow. Didn't you say that there was a lake or a river nearby?
There is, yes.
Well, we can act like the... He kind of just like tries to lighten the mood. We can act like the devious crime lords that we are and hide it at the bottom of the lake. A few stones and a couple pockets, or maybe in some shoes. Or we can bury it. But that's more easily found.
Honestly, it's just wherever we put it. There are no gone, search is going to be made, so any idea whether it be putting it back or hiding it or destroying it, more than likely somehow it's going to find its way back to us.
Given the luck that we've had here so far, I would agree.
Queenie, can I talk to you alone for a moment?
Why?
Typically, it's because you want to have a conversation that you don't want other people to overhear.
I will give you 2 minutes.
I probably only need one. I'm just gonna find another booth off to the side. So the time starts. The time's out now.
She feigns looking at her wrist and is just tapping her fingers on the table.
Mm. Look, I like to pick on people to see what they're able to take and what they're not able to take. Clearly, you can't take as much as I thought you were able to take, and I'm a very bantered type of fellow. The group's going to want to need you. It's going to need you for whatever going to happen, because more than likely something is going to happen. So I'd appreciate if you look past what most people will call my assholeness and buffoonness to better support your friends and hopefully soon to be friends of Aurora. I doubt you'll ever be friends with me, so I will not put that even out there. What do you say?
You've still got a minute.
That's all I need. So, that's what I ask of you.
You
That's how
ask
you.
me to overlook essentially who you are.
No overlook. Deal with and better preparation for the group.
Do you not think maybe that change starts with you?
No. I'm not asking for either of us to change for you to look past this. I'm asking for you to deal with this to better help your friends. And hopefully to be new friend of Aurora. That's what I'm asking.
You remind me of somebody who I have not thought about in years. And I don't like that. at all. You remind me of somebody who is very, very negative in my life. And so I am asking you to maybe sometimes consider what you're saying before you say it. If I have to accept something, you have to do something in return.
It's a bit of miscommunication here, but I understand what you're going for, and all I can say is I will simply try.
That's all that I ask. And in return, I will try. And if we do feel the need that we have to sit down again to air whatever is happening between the pair of us, I'm fine to do that. But be aware that right now, you are very much a trigger for somebody I don't want to be reminded of. And I have worked damn hard to forget who that person is. Do you understand?
You see, he's about to open his mouth up with a reply, and pauses. I understand what you're saying.
Then in that case, I will try to brush off some of your remarks if they slip through. It would be nice for all of us to get along. Aurora is clearly going through a very difficult time right now. And it's clear that she relies heavily upon you. I am doing my best to support her like I have done for people who have been in her position. She doesn't know me, and that's fine. But just be aware that everybody in this group needs everybody else. A house that isn't united cannot stand tall. So, I will do my part if you do yours.
You see him just kind of watching you kind of, I don't know, it's not like reading, it's more of like he's processing things in his mind, like debating on how he kind of wants to answer you. And he goes, I guess that's what it will be.
You can ask questions. That is fine.
No, no. I have no questions. I have more statements, but
You can make statements.
a smile kind of goes over his face. No, no, I can't.
No, you're absolutely fine. You can make statements. Whether I choose to respond to them is my choice.
Later. For now, we have something nice going. Why ruin it?
I usually am a lot nicer. It's just the fact that I'm having to wear this fucking dress.
You don't have to wear the dress.
No, it's a fancy lady's house. My mother's taught me, if you go to a fancy place, you have to at least look the part, and I just feel ridiculous in this thing.
Then you aren't looking the part because the part is to be you. But you do what your mom tells you. I'll do what I believe it fits me best.
Mums.
Sure.
I have 3 mothers.
That sounds absolutely horrible.
One's dead, so.
All right, a little less horrible. Maybe like a third.
You can ask me questions about that on another day. Right now, we really have to get going if we don't want to be late.
Yeah, and I still have no idea what we're doing.
I think maybe we just table it for later.
Sure. Let's table this for later. Say, give me the doll.
Saya throws you the doll.
No, not right. I try to grab it, throw it in the corner. That's on me. I take that one. I'm gonna put it in my backpack.
Yep, doll is in your backpack.
All right. Are we ready to die? I mean, be great.
Dine! Are we ready to dine? Is anybody else taking weapons? Just out of curiosity.
Always.
Okay.
Aurora just looks down at her dress. Don't think there's room to store a great sword. Or a long sword.
I have a hand axe under this thing, so I can't say anything.
I can try to convince them that my great club is a walking stick, but I don't think it'll work very well. I only have one spell left in me for today. So I don't particularly want to go empty-handed. Just in case.
Well, you can try it, and they go, no. Then, well, you have your answer. I don't have to worry about that.
How many of us who tend to do the spells have spells? Because I also don't have any spells. So, don't go dying. I ain't got any heals.
Sonder just gives you a very nervous smile.
Shall we go then?
Apparently we shall.
Well, I hope they at least let us bring King.
Should do. We put a bow tie on him and everything.
He looks very dashing.
He feels bonita.
What the hell does that mean?
It's an outside reference, don't worry about it.
Oh, alright. So, shall we?
No time like the present.
Oh, there's a lot of times. Just, unfortunately, the present's one gift you don't want.
Does anybody know where we're going?
Yeah, I was stalking the house beforehand.
Oh, okay. Anything we should be aware of?
I did tell you, but everyone's just like, oh, it doesn't matter. We have a dog. And I was like, oh, okay. So people don't want to be a part of that stuff. I'm sorry. Yes, there's two misogynistic asshole brothers in there that like to have their way with women. There was also the asshole who was always watching us. And DM, was there anyone else in there? I thought it was just those three.
Those are the only three that you saw enter the house.
Yeah, and no one else left. So so that's the type of stuff you have to think about. It's a really creepy house too.
I just looked to Azazel. I'm a female blacksmith. You don't think I face misogyny?
No, but they're the type of people who would corner you in the room and do what they want.
And this is why I have an axe.
I didn't think it would bring in the axe. Also, if we go killing them, they're very well known here. It's definitely
I
gonna
would
rain.
never kill them. I would just seriously maim or badly injured.
Still, we would be known. So keep that in mind.
Hope they have animals.
Besides, I would hate to wash blood out of this.
That is very pretty. And you did a really good job on Saunders' hair.
Thank you.
See him blush a little bit and do a small little, like, twirl just to show it off.
His hair is very beautiful to work with.
Is everyone wearing something fancy?
I have a couple flowers left if you want them.
Nope. I'll be the one who's true to themselves.
I don't know, I like my outfit.
I never said you didn't, and that may be true to you. I am not judging. I'm just saying I will be the true to myself.
Sounds like you're jealous.
Sounds like you should shut your face.
Well,
Am I gonna do that? No, I'm not.
I
Good, I
have
don't want you to.
I didn't hear that. I'm so sorry.
I say good, I wouldn't want you to.
Just a small little like head waggle and like a small little like grin. Just like
So shall we? Dying and die? I mean dying and well, yep.
dying and dying.
Well, let's not put any bad intentions into the air. We're gonna be fine, and it'll be alright. We're gonna get out, and it'll be fine, and then we are going to leave, and everything will be fine, and everyone will be alive, and it'll be great.
Breathe. Breathe.
You're right, we're all gonna die. I'm kidding, we're great. It's gonna be awesome.
Please nobody die.
Think
Breathe.
about it.
Breathe. Breathe.
Don't breathe.
I'm just a little anxious. I'll be okay.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
As long as we keep our wits about us, I think we should be fine.
I'll just be quiet, and if anybody asks, then I'll talk. But, I get really nervous, and I don't want to say anything stupid.
You'll be fine. I have faith.
He just gives you a very shaky smile and a very shaky thumbs up.
She's like very like happy, like warm smile back. Like you can do it.
So shall we?
Yes, please.
I'm like, I keep saying it, and we're all still standing here like a couple of buffoons.
I thought we were walking and talking.
We're walking and talking, yes we are.
I was gonna say, in that case, Aurora's gonna like grab his hand and start walking to the door. Like, okay, come on.
Yep, I'm gonna just say we're moving.
Gallivanting.
Yeah, whatever. And we're off to see the wizard.
Oh yeah, totally how that
Hey,
works.
DM, did you see the message?
No, I had not. Thank you for poking
This
me though. Yes. So you begin
Yes, okay.
to walk up to the north. Northern tip of town, the northern residential area. Oh, I am more than fine with that. I am joining the link now.
It looks sexy.
Once it loads. Beautiful. Okay, so heading up to the northern section of the world. I will change the audio over now so that the stream can hear what we can hear.
Trying new software for music. Guys, bear with us. Thank you.
It is a beautiful time.
It will come up. The more it's gonna get good. But for right now, I'm making it work. Hopefully, I'm matching the mood.
Okay, there we go. It is swapped over, and I will stop this. Beautiful. So, you begin to head northward. Through the residential districts, through the shanty towns and the areas that aren't necessarily as nice. When you come across the same mansion that Aurora walked past on her jaunt around town, but the same one that Azazel then staked out for 2 hours. It's an interesting house. It seems to almost reflect the feelings of its owner. It's sagging. It's underkept. It was once a glorious mansion, but now definitely not as nice as it could be.
Maybe we did overdress.
Even if we did, I'm not wearing armor to dinner.
So shall we knock?
You still have the invitation with you, right?
Yeah.
Just making sure.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna go ahead and I'll not go up to the door and I'll give it a little bit of a knock.
Alright then.
Aurora would.
Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say Aurora would be just beside or behind him.
Okay then. You take this moment to steel yourselves. You're not entirely sure what's going to happen or who is going to greet you. But the door is opened by, just checking to make sure that I've got this right. Yes, so one of the male servants comes and answers the door wearing a smart suit, a puff doublet jacket, seems to be of darker colouring than some of the, I guess you'd call it the Vallaki residents that you've seen, but still human. He does look you over as a group, especially taking in King. Yes. Good evening. The Lady Watcher is waiting for you in the parlor.
Oh, well, thank you, very kind sir. I will head into the parlor as soon as you tell me and show me where that is.
With a reserved smile, he gestures to two cupboards that are off to the side of each side of the double door, and gestures for you all to essentially use them.
Use what, I'm sorry?
cupboards.
Oh, the cupboards for what? Like our shoes, jackets?
Yeah, whatever you would like to use them for.
Ladies, if you'd like to put your jackets in here.
Aurora just looks down at her, like, the fact that she's not wearing, like, a cloak or jacket or anything, then just back at him with, like, an amused, quirked eyebrow.
I think we're ready, fine sir.
He just looks through the room and goes, "Quite."
Yes, it is.
And with that, leads you through a set of doors. So what you can see when you immediately come in, there's a narrow little vestibule that you've come into to get to these cupboards. And then he leads you through a small door that leads you to the base of a wooden staircase. It seems to lead up to a balcony. And at the foot of the stairs is a landing with 3 stained glass doors in wooden frames. You've just walked through one of those stained glass doors to get to this little area, and then he pushes open the one that's off to your left. And you are met very quickly with the dining room. There's an ornate dining table stretching the length of the room, a crystal chandelier hanging above it, almost ominously. Takes up a lot of room in this space. The silverware is tarnished, the dishes chipped, yet all of them still quite elegant. 8 chairs, their backs adorned with sculpted elk horns, surround the table. Arched windows made of a lattice work of iron and glass look out onto a small, fog-swept estate. And then looking off to your right as you enter the room is you see there are 3 elegant couches surrounding an oval table made of black glass. All are set in front of a blazing hearth, above which hangs the portrait of a smirking nobleman, sporting a broken nose and a tangle of hair greying at the temples. Several smaller portraits hang on, like, the northern wall that you are assuming are some kind of family portrait. And it's here that you are greeted by this wisp of a woman. Small, petite, skinny, wearing ornate red robes that clasp together around the neck. The front of the dress is actually covered by... I don't know how to explain it other than it's almost like a shoulder piece meets necklace, where it goes up her neck and clasps at the back and then attaches to golden metal, like, shoulder coverings that go out over the top of the robes.
A bolero?
No, because it's not a cape. It is literally like a piece of metal that she has fastened around her neck, and it sits over her shoulders.
Bourget?
It's kind of like a shoulder neck armor thing, isn't it?
Yeah. If you
But
didn't
decorative.
know, if you didn't know any better, you'd say that she actually is very similar, outfit-wise, to what you would expect a priest to wear.
Okay.
But as you come towards her, she opens her arms to you, greeting you into the space. And she does have a smile, but it's quite pinched as you get towards her. Not because it's necessarily insincere, but more just for the fact that there is very little meat on her face. Her cheekbones are very angular. She has a chin that comes down to an almost like comical point. Her hair is completely scraped back and is tied in some kind of low bun behind her head, leaving her hair like the widow's peak of her hairline coming down and leaving like quite a broad forehead. As far as I'm aware, that's all fine. As I quickly look over, but she does look to you all with a smile. Yes. Ah, my guests, thank you for joining me this evening on such short notice. Please, come, make yourselves comfortable. Dinner is not quite ready, but I'm sure you will forgive my cooks.
Very kind of for you to have us. Thank you very much for being here. For us being here.
She gives a smile, a small bow, as she gestures for you all to come in, take a seat on the sofas, please.
I would go and just I would go to pretend like to fall out of the one. I stop. I walk over to fuck her. I'll go to Aurora and take her hand, lead her over.
Mm-hmm.
She will follow as gracefully as every little, like, etiquette bone in her body will allow.
So, like, a fireplace or anything like that? Like any type of like fire burning or like anything like that? Like a fireplace?
Yeah, there is. There is a centerpiece made out of this massive flaming hearth that's attached to... As you're walking up to this parlor area, it's on the left-hand wall.
Okay. I'm kind of taking in the whole kind of area. I'm like, it's a very lovely place that you have here. How long has this run in the family, or did you acquire it?
Watcherhaus has been in my family for hundreds of years. It is the family estate, you would say.
Yeah. Very nice. It's very generous for you to invite us. May I ask why?
You will have to forgive my subterfuge. I had my associate following you, not for any reason other than I wish to know you. It is rare that we get visitors. I simply wish to know your skills and your capabilities.
Forgive me for being so bold. Why?
A conversation to be had over dinner. But please, I wish for you to be comfortable. For the next few hours, this home is your home.
Alright, where's the bathroom? The latrine.
Oh, of course. The latrine itself, you have to head back out the doors as you came through, across the hallway, and you will find yourself in a kitchen area, but do not let that disturb you. The bathroom is to the left.
Understood, thank you very much. I'm going to get up and head that way.
Yeah, and she watches you go, but it's more the thing of like, with a smile and encouragement of like, oh yes, through that door.
I'm going out, and I'm not going to intentionally get lost, but I'm definitely going to be looking around.
In fairness, other than the door that you came through, so the door that you know leads back to the front door, isn't a lot here.
Okay, I don't see the brothers or anybody yet.
No.
Okay. Get back to me. I want to think about something.
Okay. So she turns to the rest of you and goes, "Oh, I should be the first to extend my apologies. I'm aware that this is not necessarily dinner etiquette, but I wish to be the one to personally say sorry for your loss." And you do notice, Aurora, that like she's looking at you when she says that. This is much more of a personal thing than she's letting on. Like, she knows it was you that lost someone.
She's going to give like just this like small polite like smile, like thank you. It's in a hard time. But with friends, everything will be alright.
But of course. It is one thing to mourn a loss, but it is another completely to have to move on so quickly. And she... I don't know how to explain this. She's not necessarily being insincere. There's definitely the words that she's using and the look on her face. Like, there's no other way of describing it other than she is someone that understands loss, and specifically loss of a loved one. So she's not being false or deceitful when talking to you about understanding your loss, but it's also coming from a place that you weren't expecting it to. Like this,
oh yeah,
like this wasn't the kind of dinner table conversation you were expecting.
Yeah. It certainly isn't easy moving on so fast. I'm sorry for anyone that you may have lost as well.
My late husband, and she turns to the severe-looking man in the portrait above. I lost him a while ago now, but the loss never leaves you. It never truly goes away.
She looks at the portrait just like, I'm truly sorry. I can only imagine how much it would have hurt to lose your other half like that. I suppose the happy memories help to keep you sustained. It's what I've been trying to focus on.
Ah, yes. Memories of times long gone. It is a task, but it is one that I have taken upon myself. But of course, we should not be speaking of things like this before dinner. Oh, of course, how rude of me. And you can almost see her like she is like chastising herself, but it's not necessarily. Oh, what's the way of putting it? Not necessarily sincere. But she does turn to the rest of you, meaning like Queenie, Jack, Sonda. And you all are new to me. I will admit, when I had my associate following the group, I was not expecting him to tell me so soon that they had made new acquaintances. I suppose I should say, welcome to Barovia, but I am sure that it might not be so much of a welcome.
Well, thank you for your hospitality and your welcome. It hasn't exactly been a warm welcome, though. No, not your welcoming and not being a warm welcome, but just like us being here. Not here in your house, but like just in Barovia in general.
I can imagine. The wilds here have never been welcoming to strangers.
It's definitely very different from home.
Yeah,
Sandra will definitely kind of like pipe up a little bit. Just to ease some of the awkward tension bleeding from Queenie. And just kind of has the environment always been a bit hostile to newcomers? Or is this more of a recent development?
Oh, it has been this way for as long as I can remember. And as long as... Well, it has been this way for my family for a long time.
Stay. Is that why there are so many festivals?
Ah,
To help keep everybody happy.
they're festivals. And there's almost a... I guess the best way of putting it is like a poison dripping from her tone.
So you're not very fond of them?
In my personal opinion, the burgomaster is an imbecile. He believes that doing these festivals and having these parties will save people. It will save them from whatever harm is coming their way. And that may be true, but it will not save them. Dancing around a pyre, carrying the head of a wolf is not going to save them from the harms that are in the wild. But I digress. It's not my place to say, and not my place to judge what our burgomaster does with his free time.
put very diplomatically, I don't believe that crock of shit.
Are you actually saying that out loud?
No, this is out of character. I think that's hilarious.
What, that she's there like, I think he's an idiot.
Yes. Oh, it got a good chuckle out of me. Alexandra would nod in understanding. Very peculiar indeed.
In fact, it
So
is these festivals that one of the reasons that I brought you here today. But I will wait for that discussion for when your friend returns. And you can see her kind of looking over at the door.
I won't be too long, DM. I will just go to the latrine and I'll come back. I'm not snooping around just yet.
That's fair enough. In that case, then the the latrine was quite easy to find. You literally had to walk into the kitchen. You can see the cook preparing your dinner, and then
Does it look good? What is it?
in fairness, it does look good. It's definitely one of the more expensive meals that you've seen since being here.
Hell yeah. Excuse me, sir. Chef, sorry.
The cook looks up to you.
How long have you worked here?
They give it some thought. Like, you can see them mulling over what you've asked of them, and they're giving it some decent thought. I've worked for the Lady Watcher for coming up on 10 years now. Although I watched the boys grow up.
You broke up for me. What was the year? I'm sorry.
I watched the boys grow up.
Okay. The her boys?
They are both her boys, yes.
By blood, right?
There's a little bit of a chuckle. She goes, yes, by blood.
Look, I mean, the best way to get to know the lady of the house is through their employees. Would you not agree?
I would say so.
Between me and you, would you say what's the best thing about your employer and the worst?
You see them giving it a thought. Since the passing of our Lord, the lady hasn't been the same. Running a household on her own is hard work, and nobody blames her for it. But none of it is the same.
That's what the best. That's the best and the worst.
Oh no, that was it. That was the worst. It was
Okay.
me reflecting on the house, but I can see where there was lost in translation there a little. In terms of the best, she's an incredibly considered employer. She has always paid us well. It is one of the highlights that we are able to do as we wish and do as we see fit. She gives us a lot of freedom.
If there's one thing I should know about the lady, what should I know?
What you should know. You should know that she's a very intelligent woman. She does not accept fools lightly. You will get some good quick whips out of her. And there's a little bit of a chuckle.
Thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it.
And they give you a smile and a nod as you leave them to their duties.
Then I'll head back.
So as she's starting to get antsy, you watch as the door opens and there is Azazel.
Sorry about that. I was talking to your chef. Very fine gentleman.
She smiles at that. The idea of her chef being considered fine.
I didn't mean offense to that.
Oh,
I don't have a chef, so...
none at all. And it shows your quick-witted mind. My associate Larnak was telling me all about you.
Is that his name?
That is his name, yes.
I
How
never
we
asked.
spelling that?
Larnak. Larnak.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, he definitely stuck around for sure. Is he here?
Oh, he will be around somewhere, I'm sure.
Is there anyone else joining us tonight?
No. My plan is for it to just be you and me. Well, you, and she gestures to everyone on the sofa, and then me.
Oh, trust me, I know what you're talking about. I kind of like brush my shoulder off a little bit, like I know you're here for me. Well, obviously, you say you wanted to get to know us. What would you like to know?
Well, if it is alright for you all, I would absolutely love to know what you have been doing while keeping yourself busy in Vallaki. I've been told that you have been moving to and fro, and I wouldn't blame you for that. There is not a lot here in terms of entertainment. But how are you enjoying our fair city?
I look to the group like, do you want me to answer this?
Considering you and Aurora are like one of the only, well, I guess Saya too, are the only like original people of the group left. So you should probably go first, and then we'll answer after.
I mean, I've been here, not in Barovia in general. I've been here for quite some time, so it's fine. Keeping myself busy. I go and let's just say I like to people watch.
A fine pastime.
I look to Aurora.
I'm sorry, I got had a child talking to me.
dare you.
May I ask? What was just said?
It was basically Lady Watcher being like, "What have you been doing to keep yourselves busy?" And we're kind of just like going down the line mostly. Like, you guys are the only like OG members of the group left, so like you guys are going first.
Okay.
Uh, I've been taking in the sights and committing as much of it to art and memory as can in the beauty of the area.
There is definitely a lot of hidden beauty, if you know where to look.
So I found. That's one reason I had been looking forward to the festival tomorrow, though I'm uncertain of it now, but I was looking forward to well, the festivals I'm familiar, something akin to the festivals I'm familiar with.
I'm sure it'll be interesting for you to see the way that things are done differently here. I'm sure differences in cultures.
Of course. Though, forgive me, but it does make me rather homesick for the festivals I'm familiar with. They're, I have a feeling, likely to be quite a bit different.
Oh, no need to apologize, dear. I have a feeling that they will be quite different.
Perhaps one day there might be one that I'm familiar with. That's all I'll say now for my part.
He just turns to look down.
We've only been here for like 2 days, right?
Yeah, if that. Oh yeah, because you've had a day of sleeping, and then it was today. So yeah, you've been here for like 2 days.
Lovely. Okay, so we basically done jack shit.
Yeah.
We've figured out people got murdered, said I'm sorry, wanna have a drink, made some flowers, and then today.
Yeah.
Lovely. It would probably be like just a look between all three of us and be like walking question mark.
Yeah, we did a fair deal of walking. The lake was beautiful with the flowers.
Oh, the flowers were lovely. I actually managed to pick a couple of them, and he kind of like gestures to his hair a little bit, and I've taken some with me. They're rather lovely.
And you can see her like looking at your hair and doing like her job as being a hostess of like taking it all in and being like, oh, they're lovely. And did
All
you
of the
pick all
things-
these from the lake?
Yes, actually. Most of them. Some of them are from a little bit of my home, but they're getting a little bit wilted, so I need to press them into a book soon.
And where
Should
is...
we not have picked them?
I was going to ask, where was home for you?
You see him kind of like, I guess it would be like a nervous little shuffle. I am actually from, I guess, a different plane, I guess is how you would describe it. I'm from a place called the Feywild, actually. It's a bit, dangerous. Everything changes, and the seasons stay for a lot longer. Most of the time it's basically a never-ending day, never-ending night, or somewhere in between.
You see her like go wide-eyed. She like scratches her chin, just like, fascinating.
There is definitely a little bit difficult to live there, especially if you don't know your way around the area. And sometimes the locals aren't extremely nice. Some of them are lovely, but sometimes you have to deal with very large creatures, and they try to eat you, which isn't very fun.
So does the plant life.
Yeah, those two.
Just shudders at the memory of the plants.
He'll just kind of like rub a comforting arm, like hand up and down your back. It can be quite difficult to live off of civilization there. If you're not particularly in a settlement, it's very up in the air whether or not you'll wake up and be in a completely different area the next time.
And you can see Lady Watcher like is taking all of this in, and there's definitely I guess the best way to put it is like there's a hunger in her, like she wants to take in all this information. But she's almost interrupted by asking any more questions by the cook coming through with multiple platters on a cart. Unfortunately, that will have to be the end of story time. But I very much enjoyed listening, and I will be asking questions.
He'll give a very, like, shy smile and a nod and just, like, a small, like, anytime.
Excuse me. So then the dishes are brought out. They are put out across all of the tableware. And there is a sense of grandeur that you don't feel like this table should allow. As I said, the dining sets are tarnished and chipped. There are bits missing, but it's still this moment of splendor. The tablecloths are all taken away. You're brought forward into this brilliant moment of just opulence. And the food smells incredible. Whoever that cook is doing a great job. But as you sit and you stay, I need to actually make a check for me. I need to do this check. And then could everyone tell me... Oh wait, no, you don't need to. Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
You talk about the passive perceptions?
I was, but I don't need to ask for shit.
I know I have that plugged in for you.
It's a beautiful time.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm now mixing whiskey with dirt, so I'm like this now.
Whiskey with dirt is a great time. So then as dinner settles and more discussions are had between you, Lady Watcher settles down and brings you all together. Azazel, you technically missed this part of the conversation while you were in the latrine. But she brings you all together and says,
Copy.
now, to discuss what I invited you over for, and what I believe you will be a great help with. As you know, tomorrow is the newest festival to grace the mind of our Lord. And she gives like this massive eye roll of just like, And from the sounds of it, you have not been in Vallaki long, and you have not seen too much of the day-to-day here. But I can tell you from experience that it isn't something that I would potentially force upon my citizens. They are miserable here. And one of the reasons they are miserable is because of that burgomaster. He does not understand the needs of the people, and he doesn't understand what we need of him. So, I have a proposition for you. And you are more than willing to say no. But I feel it is only fair for you to know that it will be happening with or without you. Make of that as you wish. Our plan.
What are you? Oh God.
Our plan, and me and my associates, is tomorrow, at a point in the festival where it seems that it will be appropriate. Because knowing our burgomaster, at some point he is going to make an example of the people that did not feel it necessary to join in or have slighted him in some way. And he will abuse those people. He will make a mockery of them and will beat them in front of the rest of the town. And it is then that I say I, but it is me and a group of like-minded individuals. We are planning on, I do not know the proper word. I'm going to go with ousting. We are going to try and oust the burgomaster and his family.
You want to stage a coup?
Coup. Coup is a brilliant word. I was thinking of mutiny, but that is for boats, no?
Usually, but mutinies can be on land.
We are planning on a coup. Because our burgomaster is not a capable leader. Our burgomaster is a man driven by ego and greed. You slight him and you get beaten half to death. It's not a way to run a town.
He's also a bit of a creep, but what?
Can I insight her if it literally is gonna be more like an expose on him, or if he's planning to like kill him off?
Can I also join in on that?
That's not necessarily something that you, her intention isn't something that you can insight, because all she's told you is that she's planning a coup. So all that you could do was insight to see if she was planning a coup.
Yeah, can I insight if that was truthful?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Can I also do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. 23?
Oh, I got
Get out of here with
13.
your 13, Queenie. You suck. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you below.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. For both of you, she appears to be telling the truth.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, that's cheap. Never mind. I'm not gonna ask that. Okay, so oh no, the dirt's coming back. Alright, just so I get this straight. You're planning a coup because you don't think the burgomaster is
Fit to lead.
fit to lead. Good one. Who is fit to lead?
And you see her giving that some thought. There are very few members of the old families left. Naturally, it would fall to one of them. And I would look to Father Lucian, but he is quite happy being the master of his church. And I highly doubt that he would want to leave the church for the position of burgomaster. There could potentially be a committee. It's something that is more unsettled. And you can see her trying to think of the right way to word it. Like, you can physically see the cogs turning in her brain. To tell you the truth, it is undecided. There are quite a few candidates that have either put themselves forward or their names have been suggested. It will probably be put to a committee vote. But then that way it will be a lot more democratic than just the family line of the burgomaster continuing where it left off. Inbred fuck.
Cool.
I love her.
Okay, so far, yes. Secondly, I get the whole democracy thing, but someone needs to take charge during that deciding of the democracy. Who would that be?
Oh, there is already a committee. As I said, it is a decision that me and my associates have made. They have just elected me to be the spokesperson to discuss with you.
And
why
we
did
ask
you-
Who's on the committee?
There was 2 questions at once there, so I have no idea.
Queenie first.
Okay.
Hmm?
What did Queenie say?
Can we ask who's on the committee?
Of course you can. I am one of the members, because the Watchers are one of the oldest families in Vallaki. So naturally, by blood, we were allowed a seat at the table. There are other like-minded members of similar families that don't necessarily have the same status that the Watchers still have, and she gestures to her house. But their blood is old and solid, and that is what we are counting on right now.
Okay.
You'll have to forgive a little bit of secrecy. The committee came to the decision that I was going to be the mouthpiece for them. I was going to be the face that met with you. And it's partly because I have the actual space to host you, and she gestures to the table that you're all sat around, but also because they wanted to keep a certain level of anonymity. Because if the coup goes wrong, there needs to be at least some contingencies in place.
Make sure I understand. I've got a 2-parter. First one. If we do this coup, you're becoming in charge.
Not
For the
necessarily,
time being.
but I am part of the committee that would be deciding it.
And you chose us. Why?
Because what the task that we ask of you is not to be a part of the coup. As you are outsiders, we don't expect you to hold a stake in the fate of Vallaki. It's not something that we expected you to throw your lives away for. But we do have a task of you, if you are willing. And that task would be to kill Stranzi, Isaac Stranzi.
Both Stranzi or just one Stranzi? Is there 2 people who are Stranzi?
No, there's only one Stranzi.
Okay.
And we would be asking you to kill him.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, he is loyal to the burgomaster to a fault, and he will get violent, and he will kill opposition.
Reaver team. Strahd is the creepy dog guy, right?
Yes,
Yep.
that is
Yeah.
the dude that we were actively like, oh fuck, oh shit about.
So I
I
figured
mean, that does solve our problem if we kill him. We don't have to return his doll.
it's also fair.
Mhm.
Sorry, dirt getting to my brain.
You're fine.
Um,
Wait, so why did she pick us? Basically because nobody
she
would
didn't
suspect.
answer that question. She just said what she wanted us to do, but she didn't technically answer my question.
You
Oh,
also
she
you also
evaded.
did interrupt her to be like, "Who's Strandsy?"
No, sorry, that was supposed to be out of game, and I didn't specify. So we'll keep that in game, as if like I just forgot.
Well, no, that can be fully out of game. It was just more the thing of like, I was going to continue talking, but then you were like, "Quick question, who's Strasny?"
I was just making sure that I got names right with some
No,
guys'
you're all
names
good.
in general. Thank you.
There's a lot of
Continue.
There's a lot of names.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's like,
How do we
where was I? Oh yeah. The reason that we are asking you to kill Strasny is that he is the head of the guard. With him gone, the militia crumbles. He is also the head bodyguard of the burgomaster, and with him gone, his family become a lot of an easier target. It means that we can force a man with his ego to potentially step down a little easier. If he is hidden behind his bodyguard, he's going to push violence.
Are you gonna say more, or can I ask a question?
You can ask as many questions as you like. I want you to be as informed as possible so that you can make the right decision.
I need to start specifying that's a DM question.
Fine.
Sorry.
So good.
I'm struggling with life right now in a good way, and I feel bad.
So
So
above
let
the
me get
table,
something
what's the
straight.
problem?
No, there's no problem. You've answered everything perfectly. You're perfect. Quite all right. So character. So we're gonna kill Stronsny, and you're gonna kill the rest of the family.
We do not wish to kill them. His wife is the. I don't know if you know this actually. Again, a little bit more of old family blood, but the burgomaster's wife is actually Father Lucian's sister.
Okay.
So she is another of the old blood families. We do not wish to kill her if we can help it. And then there is their son. I don't know if you have met their son.
No, I meant the wife though. Charming, fake
No,
as can be, but charming.
He is a troubled boy, but I do not believe he deserves death for the actions of his father.
But do you think he's gonna rise up against you because you killed his father?
I do not know the boy very well. He was once engaged to my daughter, but that agreement dissolved quite quickly.
Why?
It was one of those marriages that it was arranged from when they were babies.
So it's gonna work out. Yeah, with okay.
But once they actually met with each other, they were incompatible in terms of personalities. We may be old-fashioned in certain senses, but I'm not going to force my daughter.
So will you just pick the first group that's just out of town to start murking people for your coup?
Well, that is why I had Larnak following you. See if you were capable, to see if you were agreeable, potentially.
Well, he thinks we're a bunch of murderous bunch that is agreeable.
Well, he believes that you are hardy, capable. His words. Resilient, I believe, was another one.
Resilient, he said we were. I'm so sorry, Aurora. 3 of us are dead. I really don't know how resilient we are.
Oh,
Sorry to interject a second, but are there not also people here that are resilient and hardy and capable?
potentially. But the best way of wording it is that because Strazi is the head of the guard, he knows everyone in Vallaki, and there are potentials that he knows most of the people in Barovia, just as a spanning glance. Because you are outsiders, you have no stake in our politics, but also you are people that he is unaware of. He does not know your skills, and it will be easier for you to overwhelm him if it is all of you against him.
Alright, there's a bigger question we haven't asked yet. What's in it for us?
Well, for you, it means that you have someone a little bit more agreeable running Vallaki. It means that you don't have to worry about insulting your burgomaster, and that one insult meaning that you are flogged and locked away, never to be seen again. It means that if you need aid from someone, I would then be an ally in your corner. Someone with power, influence, knowledge of the area, knowledge of our history. If there is something that you want, or something that you need, I can potentially get it within reason. And at that, Saya like kind of lights up. You can see that she wants to ask for something, but she kind of keeps it to herself for the moment.
Well, first off, delicious. Compliments, as always.
I will pass them on.
Secondly, what do you know of Strasny?
Strasny. He went on a hunting expedition into the Slavish woods and came back with a deformed demonic right hand. He's able to throw fireballs from it.
That's cool.
But other than that, he is a trained combatant with his axe. He's a martial man the majority of the time, but he is able to have some magical influence through his right hand. He's very diligent in the sense that he sticks to his role of head of the guard and is very thorough, but he is also stupid.
How?
Well, he's not a bright man. He's a loyal pup. He follows the orders of his master. There's a reason that the burgomaster keeps his quarters in his house. It's so that he can look after his pup.
One more question, because I feel like other people have questions. They're just not getting them in. When were you wanting this done? Tomorrow, right?
As and when you wish. Tonight, tomorrow, if you need time to prepare. I would recommend doing it sooner rather than later, though. Because if you allow the festival to continue to a point, there's the possibility that you will lose your chance the later the day gets.
You
Why?
said your group had a time in mind or a situation in mind for the coup to happen?
At midday tomorrow, we know that the burgomaster is planning on lighting the sun effigy as a celebration of midday. And it is then that he is probably also going to punish the people that were against this festival or spoke out against him in any way. I'm sure you've seen the people in the stocks in the middle of the town square.
Mm-hmm.
He humiliates them. He puts papier-mâché donkey heads on them, and yet he will still take them out of those stocks at midday tomorrow and beat them mercilessly.
Do you happen to know if Strasny will be patrolling Villaki during that time? Is there any way we can, say, ambush him when he's on his route?
Potentially not at midday, but if you get him in the morning, when he's doing final preparations, doing tours of the town, you might be able to do something then.
So you need us to kill Strasny before midday tomorrow.
That would be ideal.
Okay.
Because our goal, and she says like it's almost like the royal we, where it's like our goal is like me and the committee, is to try and spare the lives of the people in the stocks. If we can stop the madness before then, we will consider that high praise.
In that case, then, do you know Strasny's patrol schedule? Like, do you know when he'll be back home tonight?
She looks out the window. Well, he will probably be home already now. Ever paranoid of vampires, he doesn't normally stay out past day break, and you can see her like seeing the sun set.
Okay.
So if you were to go to the burgomaster's mansion, he will probably be there. If you were planning on doing anything tonight. If you weren't, in the morning, I don't know if his patrol will be different because it is a festival day.
Has it ever changed before on a festival day?
It has sometimes, depending on what last-minute tasks the burgomaster has given him.
Is the burgomaster's house usually busy in the morning?
It depends on the scale of the festival. The last one, the Wolfhead Jamboree, it was a little easier to arrange since it was simply him asking hunters to bring in wolf heads.
Okay.
Whereas this one, it seems to be a lot more crafty. There's more things being made.
I have something of a request, I suppose, once this is all over.
Of course.
A proper festival, for lack of a better term. Something with actual joy.
You could call it the last festival.
That'll be a discussion that we have with Father Lucian. Maybe we can pair it to the church. Bring a little bit more tradition back to our town.
And perhaps some beauty as well.
There's very little beauty to be found these days.
And yet you're sitting right there.
I just gives you like the very sarcastic like eyebrow twerk of like, uh-huh.
I mean, look at this room. I point out her, I think just to her, I gesture to Aurora, I gesture to, I'm saying that right?
Gesture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gesture.
Yeah.
That's the word, gesture to Queenie. I'm like, see, even, and I point over to Sandra, and I was like, see, there's a lot of beauty in here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sandra will blush and like kind of like cover his mouth with his hand and just like very embarrassed, like, oh hush.
But of course, I'm giving you details as if you have already said yes. You have not. If you were to turn to me, even tomorrow morning, if you sent me a letter saying, we are sorry, we cannot participate, appreciate the thought and wish you good luck, we would accept that. We're aware that we have come to you, admittedly the eve of battle, but we wanted to make sure that whoever we asked was capable. It's why I've had my man following you.
Fair. Didn't enjoy that, but fair.
Well, it's a shame. He apparently enjoyed you a lot.
Well, we should go out for a drink sometime. Well, we will have to discuss it
Of course.
out of other years. We shall have information for you in the morning.
What's the best way for us to send a message to you?
Either letter or through Larnack himself. He's a very good courier.
No, he didn't poop, but he did pull his diaper off.
Larnack pulled his
Dang it.
diaper off.
But the important thing is he didn't poop.
If we were to send you something by letter, would you want it to be in a little bit of a code? So, in case it gets intercepted, it won't be known by whoever's trying to steal it what's happening.
It doesn't necessarily have to be in a code, since we've not established one, but if it is vague and easy enough for me to understand your meaning.
Kind of just looks around like, does anybody else have any questions?
I mean, I've been asking a bunch of questions. And I feel like I'm kind of questioned out, so I'm going to begin to continue eating because this food is absolutely delicious. We'll take a doggy box home.
It's really good.
But it is a tall order that you just asked of us, especially strangers. I mean, there's nothing from stopping us from going straight to the burgomaster and turning yourself in.
No, there is. That is very true. There is nothing stopping you from doing that. And if that was your inclination, you have every right to do so. But that will not stop anything.
No.
Other than potentially make him paranoid, and maybe he'll stay inside tomorrow.
Do you have any questions for us?
I guess the question would be, is there anything that you think you would need? Is there any provisions that I have to acquire for you?
Money, money, type of, potions would be nice. Money, potions. I don't know, you guys think of anything else? Oh, yeah, money, potions.
I think she gets the idea. Just kind of like pats him on the shoulder. If anything, I agree with the potions
And
aspect
money.
of it. I was getting to that. Just very gently, like in your general direction. Like a gentle parenting, like, yes, honey, I'll get to you later. We've definitely got a big fight on our hands if we do take up the offer. And any sort of assistance within the battle would be appreciated. So any of the, like Azazel said, any potions would be very, very well needed, considering. Just kind of like looks. I know our foes were definitely stronger beforehand, but we still had some difficulties. I'm not sure if you have an apothecary nearby, but health potions or maybe speed or strength would probably also be well needed. Just kind of like looks to anybody else.
And you can see her rubbing her chin at that. And goes, I don't know anything for strength or speed, but I can definitely provide a limited array of healing potions. It's something that I dabble with in my spare time.
His ears definitely perk up at that.
In terms of money, it's easy enough to become a sponsor for you, if that is what you are wishing. What would you be requiring the money for?
Yes. Is the answer you're looking for.
The general answer of yes. In that case, I will go grab the potions for you as I keep them upstairs. But in terms of gold, will this do? And she holds out her hand, and there is a little bit of a pause, but then coins appear from nowhere, like just from the ether, and land like in her outstretched palm.
Roughly, what is it? Like, quantity?
Oh, it's not a lot. It's literally like 4 or 5 coins. But it's the thing of like, how much were you thinking?
So, let's just say assassination costs a lot. Now, granted, we have your support, and well, I mean, honestly, the support is basically what you're giving us. But there's still a bit of sum for us to cover our own expenses and cover our own butts in case you were to stab us in the back. So, be a bit more than a few coins. But before we get to a price, before we get to any of that, we should see if we're even interested. So for the rest of the night, unless others have questions, enjoy ourselves, and the morning we can discuss more on that aspect.
Of course. She holds the coins that are in her palm like off to the side, almost in a motion of like a waiter like carrying a drinks tray. And you watch as one by one the coins disappear.
Interesting
I'm
indeed.
taking note of that. I don't know, like. But with that, there's really not much else I want to do there. So I was just, random conversation and talk a bunch of shit, stuff like that. And then when it's time to leave, it's time to leave.
Of course, and Lady Watcher is a gracious host. Like, at one point she leaves and comes back with more drinks. As soon as food is done, plates are cleared by her staff. Like, she has a couple of maids that come in to clear the table. I will not force you out the door. If you wish to sit with me for a while, or you wish to immediately head home, that is your business. But I am going to wish you all good night, and sit in my parlour.
I'll let everyone else to kind of make that decision.
Thank you for having us. It was a lovely evening. And honest, excellent food, excellent. But I think we should probably depart. We have quite a few things to discuss.
I would definitely agree. It was a lovely time here, and thank you very much for the invite. The food was absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you. As I said, I will make sure to pass the compliments on to the chef.
Thank you very much. You have a very lovely night.
And yourselves. With that, she doesn't immediately go to sit down. She does, like, wave you off, but you see her, like, retreat and go to sit on one of the plush sofas that you sat on before dinner.
Okay. So if else what to do, I'll head back to the. I'm assuming we're letting ourselves out, correct?
If that is what you want to do. There isn't actually any servants in the hallway, so you're kind of just left by the front door.
Are we ready to leave?
I think it's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then I'll go ahead and push the door open and gesture for everyone else to leave.
Thank you.
When they all exit the door, I'm going to close the door behind them with my stealth still inside.
Okay.
And then I'm going to open the door up immediately and be like, just kidding. I want to walk out.
You're such a little shit.
You guys thought I was going to do shit.
I mean, Queenie will just look at you and just kind of give you a look of, you can snoop if you want to. I won't rat you out.
No, let's head back.
I'm assuming we immediately get back and then we go upstairs to somebody's bedroom to have this discussion.
Yeah,
But-
probably
I was
best.
gonna say, but what I will do is I will put the brakes there, because there are 2 people missing that probably should be a part of this conversation.
Yes,
So
totally agree with you.
So what we will say is we're going to end the episode there, with the idea being that hopefully Dusky and Mythical watch the VOD so that they know what they're coming into, and we can start this conversation immediately as soon as the session starts next week.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Alright then, but thank you everyone so much for watching today. You can either watch us live every Friday at twitch.tv/20sidesfailure, or you can watch the VODs on YouTube. Same name, same address, just YouTube channel. But a thank you to my players, a thank you to my viewers, and I wish you all a good night.
Bye.
Night.
Good night.